After rescuing Sildar
Wacky shit.
all winter, he proceeded to kill off the remaining goblins in the cave at his request, including an accidentally summoned fire deity created by Robert Bull, even though he no longer had any control over it because it was brought to life by the goblin.
We learned a lot of stuff from Sildar and Thag. We learned about the wizard guy Albric. We learned about Cragmore Castle. We learned about Ruxithid, which is something that the weird green glowing goblins said. We learned about the spider, who I learned about twice because I wasn't paying attention the first time. And we learned about King Groll. And we killed Clark on accident.
Oh yes, because you're trying to.
I smacked him a bit too hard.
Smacked him a little bit too hard. He failed. He rolled into some fire and went up in flames.
Deserved.
Got what was coming.
Before you do like a little intro, William, what did we do with the 2 horses that had all the saddlebag stuff on them?
You didn't say you did bring them, so I assumed you had.
Yeah, we brought them with us because I was shoving shit in them.
Yeah, he was
In the saddlebag,
shoving
not the horse.
shit in.
Not in the horses directly.
From there, you continued into Phandelver. It is about midday, late afternoon, as you have been on the trail coming from the Goblin hideout off the Tribord Trail down the path to Phandelver. The rutted track emerges from a wooded hillside, and you catch your first glimpse of Phandelver. The town consists of 40 or 50 simple log buildings, some built on field stone foundations, more old ruins crumbling stone walls covered in ivy and briars, surrounding the newer houses and shops, showing how this must have been a much larger town in centuries past. Most of the newer buildings are set besides the cart track, which widen into a muddy main street as it climbs towards a ruined manor house on a hillside at the east side of town. As you approach, you see children playing on the town green and townsfolk tending to chores or running errands at the shops in town. Many people look up and smile as you approach, but all return to their business.
When they see a drow.
One of them is here. Oh.
Alright. Look on Roll20. I did just move you guys over to the Phandelver map.
Hell yeah.
Pretty.
You guys are coming from where I put the blue circle. Anything you talk amongst yourselves or say to one another as you approach your destination?
Yeah, I will. Fredo's driving the wagon, right? Or
Yeah. And I'd have a general idea of like the whole town because I'm from here. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick my head, I guess, like through the front of the wagon to where Fredo is. I don't know if that's how the wagon works, but
Not like a covered wagon the pilgrims use.
okay. Yeah, I just stick my head out and I just say, Fredo, do you know any good taverns in town?
Yes. I can see that you'd want a drink after our tribals and tribulations. I know of a few watering holes in this area.
You know of the one watering hole in this area.
Well,
stone
official bars. Then I go in random people's houses and drink their alcohol.
Yeah, this isn't a very big town. As you look around it, it is, as stated earlier, just a small collection of people working to rebuild what was once a much bigger city. You know that the Stonehill Inn is sort of in the center of town down the track. You also know that the goods you have, the ones for Grundrin, need to be delivered to Arthrin's provisions, and the stuff from the Lion Shield Coister can also be delivered to its rightful owner in town.
Well,
Is the inn the tavern?
Yeah, this is a small enough. Frito would know that this is a small enough town that the inn and the tavern are just one place.
just the same spot. I guess I'll say this, both me thinking out loud and then also speaking to my buddy, is we should sorry, just so that I don't fuck it up and continue on the like, hey, that guy. What is your character? I know it starts with an A.
Orris.
Orris. Okay, thank you.
It does not
So
start with
I'd say, God fucking damn it.
Absolutely.
I'll say to Orris, Let's drop this shit off because I don't trust this town. It's not big enough for us to just be leaving our stuff that we're supposed to be delivering outside a random tavern while we get shit faced.
I'm gonna turn to Sildar. Sildar, do you have a place in town that you live at? Sildar?
Sorry, I am
Did we leave him back up?
answering that question.
We look and he's not in the wagon anymore. What the fuck? He ran off with our 40 gold!
I'll kill him.
I believe you.
What?
Shit, after what we did to those goblins.
Sometimes this book.
By the way, Fredo, did you mention the name of the inn to me?
I'm fine doing that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna write in my notes Stonehill Inn, because my plan is, or the idea I had, and I'll just run it by you guys while William's looking for things. I was thinking Robert and Fredo both have things that they need to sell, right? Fredo's got his Gundren stuff and the Lion Shield things, and then Robert picked up a whole load of stuff, whole load of weapons and things. So I was thinking, you guys take Gerald with you for safety, and you go sell your things. I go with Sildar to wherever his humble abode is, so to get our 40 gold, and then we can meet up at the Stonehill Inn after. Because I also have some things I want to ask Sildar.
Sounds like a good idea.
What do you think, Robert?
Fantastic plan, Robert says as he throws his most recent fern out off the wagon.
And Gerald, I know you wish to protect me, and I think it will be good for me to remember what it's like to not have a 6-foot-tall badass protecting me wherever I go, and keeping these two safe, you will be doing right by our contract.
It's your order.
Are you from Brooklyn? He is your order, sir! Alright, so
Hey,
Walking in.
here, see? Yeah.
In answer to your question, Sildar turns to you and says, "Well, I do not have a permanent place of residence in the town. I have been renting out a room in the Stonehill Inn.
perfect. So, you and me head to the Stonehill. The rest of you do some shopping. I might do, or some selling, I should say. I might do some shopping afterwards, but I'll keep you safe, Sildar. Plan?
That sounds alright with me. There isn't all that much in town that is dangerous, but
Oh, I'm sure. Honestly, I'm probably the most dangerous thing in town, considering I'm a drow.
You dirty
Well-
dog.
yes, the townsfolk might see it that way, but you'd be surprised. There are, out in the wilds, there's a few more of your kind around than in the bigger cities where they're more run out.
Yes, well, I've been around, and I understand that the surface dwellers are willing to put anything past them as long as you have enough coin. So, let's go get that gold, eh?
Yes, let's.
Alright, so I guess me and Sildar hop off the wagon and start walking towards the inn as you guys continue on.
Alright, and you guys are heading to drop off the items you have in the wagon, correct? The other part of the party?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
drop off the shit for Gundren first, and then maybe inquire about the other stuff that we found in the cave.
Gotcha. Alright, so as we watch Sildar and Orris hop off the wagon and start walking, we see the wagon keep going in the same direction as them, because you guys had not quite make it into town yet, so I don't know why split up quite yet, but it works. So you guys continue to walk, and
Well-
we'll see you guys, and then we're just walking alongside each other.
yeah, essentially, you're like, you guys will split up, and then you're just continuing to walk right next to each other as you go into town.
As me and Sildar are walking, I'll let you do the other thing first, but as me and Sildar are walking, I want to ask him some questions. So it works out in the end.
Well, I guess the wagon and you guys walking is about the same pace. So you guys stay together for some time as you follow the main road into town until we first come upon in this red tiled roof building.
Heil?
Barthen's tiled, like the
Right.
tile. We come along.
Not like the Hitler thing.
Yes. Come across a trading post, one that Frida would know is the largest in town, called Barthren's Provisions, which is the destination of the crew with the wagon. For this is where Grundren is delivering the supplies to, as Frida would know, the owner of the shop, Elimina Barthrin.
Elimina Barthrin?
Yes. So as we approach, this is where the party will finally split. Those on the wagon and going with the cargo stay here. Orris and Sildar start going forward on their way. They can actually see their destination just 3 houses down the street already.
Nice.
They see a sign hanging off the door. They see the Stone Hill Inn.
It's a small town.
Yes, this.
Yeah.
If we look at the map, this entire
Basically right next to each other.
500 feet. Yeah, so about one side of the town to the other is about 500 feet. So
We're like still waving goodbye as we walk in the inn.
yeah, you guys are not far from each other at all.
Well, that's pretty good anyway. So,
Is there anything anyone would like to say as you guys finally actually part?
as we part,
Love you.
Ways, part ways.
I'm just gonna look Gerald in the eyes or in the helmet and just nod assurance that I'm going to be all right. He doesn't have to worry about me. Focus on protecting the others.
I'm still gonna worry.
Fair enough.
More than fair. Any other parting words?
Does Sildar have anything to say since he was kind of involved in the Gundren thing anyway?
Frito, make sure you get the cargo delivered as per Grundren's contract, and once that is done, and plus any other business you might have to take care of, let us regather in the Stonehill Inn to discuss next steps.
Yeah, sounds good. Since Gundren's not here, you wouldn't happen to have a copy of that contract, so I know how much to sell this for, would you?
I don't have the contract copy. This is more of like a routine thing we do consistently. Gundren typically gets this. He just says this is the typical contract. You, Frito, would know that Gundren, since he is the owner of the business, is going to get like a much more of the money, most of which was paid for in advance. Just because this is a business, stuff is going on in the background and everything, and I'm not about to give you like 1,000 gold for a delivery, and you guys never end up giving it to Gundren.
Right.
Oh yeah, I get that, and I assume Sildar would probably get some sort of cut as well. So
Yes. But you also know that once the delivery is made, Elima pays for the wages of those who are like guarding the caravan and everything, and so you know you'll roughly get about 10 gold pieces per person. However, you were also the only person actually on contract for that, besides Sildar and Gundren. So,
would I get paid more since I've worked with this company before?
That is about standard for you.
That is the more.
Yeah, that is the
Fuck.
more.
God damn it!
Ac-
I traveled
we
for 10
typically
days
don't
for all
assign
this
a lot of
fucking
value
money.
to gold, but
It is
like
very
a-
valuable.
I
10
think
gold
a
is a
beer-
lot.
yeah, like a thing of beer and food for like one meal, I think is like 5 copper, and
Yeah.
5 copper and 1 gold is like 1,000 copper, I think.
Yeah, so 10 gold is actually pretty good. That's why getting 10 gold each from Sildar was such a win.
No, one gold is 100 copper, so you're like, you can get 20 meals out of 1 gold coin.
How much is spending the night?
You roll a history to see if you've actually ever stayed the night in the Stonehill Inn, or do you typically stay with Gundren when he's in town and he takes care of stuff? Have you ever been in there on your own?
Probably not, because Fredo hates spending money, and he'd rather mooch off of people he can just get free night stay from. So,
All right, then you're not quite sure how much it costs to stay there. You imagine it can't be much considering the state of this town and the fact that it's no one comes out here anyway, so any business they do is pretty great.
someone shut up! Oh my god! Well, I guess we'll head in to the inventory store and see if we can find Elimina. I want new armor. I want a new rapier. I want new everything.
Sorry. You guys tie up. You guys park the wagon out front. Tie up the oxen. Tie up the horses. I assume to make sure they don't walk away from you in this moment. this is a familiar place you have been many times. You know, it doesn't stock stuff out of the ordinary. This isn't Neverwinter. This isn't Baldur's Gate. You're not going to get anything fancy in this town. But you do know it's a reliable source of venturing gear and stuff that you may or may not need. I assume you guys go inside. Do you want to talk or say anything before you head in to each other?
I'm just gonna stand by the doorway.
All right. Gerald posts up next to the door, intimidating as always in this suit of adamantine armor that sparkles a little bit in the sun. I assume Frito and Robert head inside.
Yeah, Robert will head inside.
All right.
We'll walk in together.
You open the door. You hear the little ringing of a bell that you hear in most of those old-timey shops just above the door. It rings, allowing them to know people are in here. And you see coming out of the back room a familiar face for Frito, a not so familiar face for Robert. Is Elimina Barthrin, a young human woman who, as Frito would know, is the proprietor of this establishment. Ah, Frito! It's good to see you again.
Good to be back in town.
You see her gesture, and you see two of her employees come out from the back as well. They start heading outside to gather their provisions from your cart. I'm surprised Gundren isn't here to do the delivery. He typically handles most of stuff in person. He wants to make sure he's getting his money's worth at all times.
So Gundren hasn't been in whatsoever?
I mean, he's been in before. We haven't seen him in... Took you guys about a week to get here?
Yeah, a little over a week, probably.
More or less.
A little over a week. We haven't seen him since you guys set out for Neverwinter about 2-3 weeks ago to get the supplies I purchased.
Yeah. The thing is the Gundren and his bodyguard Sildar were attacked by goblins.
Oh,
and yeah, we found the wagon on the side of the road. Or no, I'm sorry, we were bringing the wagon, and we saw, I think was their horses on the side of the road, were ambushed by the goblins who abducted those two. And we were fortunate to recover Sildar, but Gundren we haven't seen, so I'm worried about him.
She dies.
That is troubling news. You just see her face slowly morph into one of not shock and horror. She looks visibly upset by the fact that Gundren is missing. Well, I hope. Are you and Sildar planning on making your attempt at finding him?
Yes. No. I at minimum need to go out there. And he's done right by me so many times that I don't want to just turn my back on him when things have gone as bad as they could have been, basically, for him. So, I don't know about Sildar. I'm sure he would like to join.
Same.
Likely very shaken up from what happened. So,
I hope you well in finding him. Gundren is... I would consider him a friend of mine, and all of his talk about finding the mines will be a boon for both our town, and hopefully for him, is bringing more business to us.
Yes, and I actually would like to inquire with you of, I know we have our agreed fees for this, but perhaps if you could give a little more for our campaign to save Gundren, because he has done so much for this town that if you were able to contribute a little bit more to my pay, then, it would go a long way towards saving him.
Persuasion.
Hell yeah. Good shit, Frito.
Persuasion. I got a 10.
I suppose I can include an extra gold or two just for you, Frito, in your endeavor to try to find Gundren. But strings are tight with not getting much business besides the townsfolk.
That's capitalist jargon for fuck your friend and fuck you.
Yeah.
No, more so it's like this
Salvation Army
in the middle of nowhere. What extra money do I have?
But think of the legend that could sprout from this great town in our pursuit of Gundren. We already have a man that's done quite a lot, and to have such a heroic comeback by yours truly, to bring him home and save him from whatever treachery he has uncovered, that could bring our town into legend. And you know what legend brings? People. And you know what people have? Money. So think of the great inspirational story that could sprout out of just another contribution. 5 more gold can make the difference.
Yes, that is true, but our town is also already a legend, and not a good one.
We can change the trajectory of the way things are viewed. There's been a lot of malicious things associated with this town, but think of this story and many more that could sprout out of the next few years of our town turning a new leaf. And when that happens, then people will see the good in this town. The good there's always been. I'm giving a Shakespearean speech to this guy just to fucking get more money.
Yes, I suppose I could contribute an extra 5 gold for you if that's what you're asking for.
Thank you. Your kindness is greatly appreciated.
And as you guys are in this negotiation, you see one of her staff come back in carrying some of the supplies. They go back into the back and put it away, walk up next to her. Miss Barthrin, the goods are all accounted for, and here, Gundren once again held up his end of the deal. That is good to hear. Just had to make sure everything was here and arranged for. You see her pull out a sack of gold from underneath the counter. Here's the agreed upon 30 gold split between you, Sildar, and Gundren for the delivery, Frito, and she hands it to you.
Thank you. I'll hold on to Gundren's one. It'll be majestic when I give him his share back for what he's earned.
I trust that you will make sure he gets his portion of the payment. And then you see
Of course.
she reaches into her pocket. Not her pocket. She reaches into the cash register, pulls out an extra 5 gold, and puts it out on the counter. And here is for your endeavors at finding Gundren.
Thank you. When he comes back, I will be sure to give him the best regards, and you doing, more than what was needed to support our friend.
Yes. As well, Frito, it might interest you to know that at least a 10-day ago, I saw Narundro and Tharden, who you know to be Gundren's brothers, and they mentioned they were camping somewhere outside of town. I do expect them to be back anytime soon to resupply. Perhaps they can be of some assistance to you.
Yeah, of course. I will be staying at the inn for a few days, so if they do come back in and they come into the store, just let them know that I'll be there, and hopefully we can meet up.
Yes, I'll send them your way if I see them.
Excellent.
Is Robert just stood completely silent as this whole thing's going on?
Absolutely.
And who's your friend, Frito? Sorry, we got caught up in catching back up with one another.
This is Robert. He fought many a goblin to bring back these goods, and he has earned my respect in the process, even if he has a weird obsession with ferns.
It's always nice
Not.
to meet another adventurer willing to help us with our increasingly goblinoid problem in the region.
I'm happy to help.
You see, she just sort of looks out the door at this coughing armored person outside. Is that one also with you, Frito?
Yes, another good ally that we earned through this trip was gone through the gauntlet. There was things in that cave I think we all wish we could unsee, but we worked as a team and we got it done.
That is good to hear. Well, if there's anything in the shop you wish to purchase for your supplies, do let me know. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. And kind of boosting off of what you just said, are there any specialty items that I could potentially inquire about? And you said I got 25 gold from that, because I got my share, the extra 5 they contributed, and then Gundren's share.
You also have Sildar's, which you can choose. It's up to you whether or not you give it to the person.
Oh no, I'll just have that accounted for. Is that when we meet up again, I'll just give him it then. So I got 40 fucking gold. Let's go.
All right. So I don't know if there's a great way to. This is the stuff that would be on sale here. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a link. It would be adventuring gear. So it's anything under the adventuring gear sub thing for prices, except anything over 25 gold they do not have. While you guys are looking around and doing your shopping, we are going to switch over to Sildar and Orris as they make their way to the Stone Hill Inn. Alright. Alright. You guys see your friends start unpackaging the cart, and you keep walking the 100 feet to the Stone Hill Inn.
Yeah.
You said you had some questions for me, Orris.
Yeah, Sildar, I have to be honest, I'm quite curious about Gundren. I only got to meet him the one time, and, everything I've heard about him, his importance in this whole deal, us trying to find him. I guess my first question would be, does Gundren have access to magic, or was he just a basic dwarf businessman?
Yes, with what he's done and what he's been able to rediscover, one might assume he was some sort of wizard, a mage, but one often forgets the tenacity of the dwarves and their stubbornness when they wish to discover something or even fund a business venture. So, despite his stroke of luck and success, he is just a regular dwarf or man. Let's say.
Besides the money, I guess.
Besides the money, yes, and his skills as a trader and mining expertise.
As we get up to the door of the inn, I'm going to open it for him, since, he was very injured recently.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I just have some describing stuff to do here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Center of town, opposite the town green, stands a large, newly built roadhouse of fieldstone and rough-hewn timbers. The common room is filled with locals, nursing mugs of ale, of cider, all of them eyeing you with curiosity as you walk in to the Stone Hill.
I'm going to keep my voice down a little bit now that I notice everyone looking at us. Sildar, did you hear any of the goblins mention the King Groll that Thag talked about when you and Gundren were kidnapped?
I did not. I was knocked out, honestly, from most of the time before I woke up in the room you guys found me in. I did hear most of what I know about what happened. I already mentioned to you in the cave.
Okay, so you were knocked out, so you probably wouldn't have a perception on how long you were captive versus when Gundren was taken to Cragmore Castle, or versus when we showed up to rescue you.
I mean, we were only probably a day or two, or maybe 3 ahead of you. It couldn't have been all too long.
Yes, well, every second matters in these sorts of situations.
That is true, unfortunately.
Okay, only a day or 2 ahead. So it all happened in the 3 days that it took us to catch up to you, basically. They captured you. What was the beginning of the capture like? What was the initial ambush?
It was, we were going along the road and arrows came out of the woods. I did my best to shield Gundren, and he did his best to shield himself, but it knocked us off the horses, and from there, it was quite quickly devolved into a brawl we were not prepared for.
Interesting. I'm gonna insight check him.
All right, go ahead.
7.
Yeah, he's telling the truth. As far
as I'm aware. And I'm unaware that I'm not fully aware.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sildar. Appreciate. I know this is probably hard to think back on. It all happened so fast. I was curious also. Get away from the goblins a little bit.
As you guys are having this conversation, he does sort of lead you into one of the rooms of the inn, the one that you assume he's been staying in.
Yeah.
And he starts sitting down and relaxing for the first time he's been able to in quite a while.
And I don't sit down specifically. I just lean up against the wall that he's sitting near. Mm-hmm. How did Gundren find the map to Wave Echo Cave?
That is a tale I've often wondered myself, and not one he has shared with me yet. Whether it's because it was through illicit means, or he truly just doesn't want others to. Something happens.
I'm gonna insight check him again. 5. Yes, thank you for this truth, Sildar. Okay, well, you don't know how he found it. Have you seen the map yourself?
Yes. Sorry. I have seen the map he's drawn, and it's not that he located a map to the cave. I might not have been clear about this in the first place. He and his brothers found an entrance to the cave and then created the map themselves.
Oh.
No, he has
Interesting.
not. I have not seen the map, for I cannot direct you to where the cave is located.
Okay, so you haven't seen the map, and you haven't been to the entrance yourself.
But him and his three brothers have.
Yes, and you mentioned that they were also headed to Phandelver, but you made it seem like there was a chance that the goblins would have attacked them as well.
Yes, if we, from what we learned from Clark, if they were specifically after Gundren, they might have waylaid his brothers as well.
And why do you think that would happen? If they got the map and they had Gundren, they had the two things they wanted most, why would they go after the brothers?
The brothers have also been to the entrance, and in case Gundren or the map got destroyed,
Insurance, so to speak.
insurance, indeed.
Excellent. Okay, so it wasn't just Gundren they were after, it was more so Gundren was just a part of it. He wasn't the thing they were going after. They just want to know where the entrance is. More likely the spider wants to know.
That's what I would imagine, though I do not have a specific insider knowledge of what the goblins are doing.
I'm gonna insight roll that. Let's get
Go
above a
ahead.
10 this time, guys. Okay, 17.
Yeah, this man is quite clearly not working for the goblins.
Okay. Sildar is not working for the goblins. I'll cross that off my list of theories.
Game theory.
Good. I don't suppose you have any ideas of how this quote-unquote spider character found out that the Rock Seekers knew where the entrance was.
My only guess is if by the name Spider, he has a network or webs spread around, he might have overheard something. And there are those in town who know the brothers. Or perhaps they don't know, but there are definitely rumors around town that they've potentially found the entrance. Perhaps someone in town learned too much.
And I don't want to make you think that I'm suspecting anything, but it seems as in town, other than his brothers, nobody knows Gundren better than you.
That is definitely true. And you see his face scrunch up a little bit insulted that you suspect him. That is definitely true, but I would not portray the Rock Seekers.
Of course not. They pay you too well, yes?
That's in there helping me with my own business in town.
Ah, interesting. You mentioned something about a day ago, or yesterday, I should say. You mentioned you were working for the Lord's Alliance or something, or the Lord of Waterdeep, something about that?
Yes, the Lord's Alliance sent me here to track down Arno Albrecht, who was a fellow member of the Alliance with me.
Interesting. So, were you working both as a bodyguard and also on a mission to look for Albrecht, or were those two separate things? Like, what was your ultimate reason for coming back to Phandelver?
My ultimate reason for here was to find Arano, but one also must necessarily do the things to keep themselves supplied, and also Gundren seemed like if he was able to find a way back Cave, he would most likely be able to help me find Arano as well.
You think that those two things are connected somehow?
No, just he's very good at finding things. That's
Ha!
all.
I'm gonna insight roll that. 18.
He is being serious, so that's the reason. From what you can tell, he is being serious.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense. If you come across someone who's claimed to find something that's been lost for 5 centuries, or however long I've said it at this point, you probably assume they'd be able to help you find a dude who's been missing for like a few months.
Oh. Gotcha. So the Irano, or I should say the Irano Albric thing has been going on for a while.
Yes. He's been in town, I think. He's been in Phandelver since they started rebuilding the town. But we lost contact with him several months ago.
Gotcha.
Or the last he reported was several months ago. Whether or not that's the last time anyone in town's seen or heard from him, I haven't quite figured out yet.
Sorry, I'm just finishing up that last part of the notes. Okay, Sildar, it is very kind of you to go out of your way to answer my questions. As you know, I myself am a treasure hunter, and obviously I have my own personal reasons for coming to Phandelver, but discovering Wave Echo Cave, finding Gundren, these have suddenly shot to the top of my list of things that could help me greatly, so I just want to get all the information out that we can.
And as you guys are talking, he sort of gets up and starts rummaging around through some of his belongings and pulls out the 400 gold he promised to pay.
400?
40, my bad.
Okay.
40 gold
It's like, hell yeah, give me 400 gold. I will
for
run away with that.
escorting him into town. And this is for you and your allies' trouble rescuing me and getting me to town.
Ah,
Yes.
thank you.
Hands it. But I would like to offer you something else as well. Gundren, while he might not have been my main objective, has grown to be one of my very closest friends. And these goblins and this spider, they'll do nothing good with Wave Echo Cave and the magic forge located within.
I doubt it.
Nothing good can come of that.
Yes.
We need to keep up the pressure on these Ragmar goblins and make sure we get rid of them in this area and put an end to the spider's plan. I propose to offer you and your crew, if you can get them to agree, prepare to offer you 500 gold pieces to drive the goblins out of Cragmar Castle and rescue Gun.
Interesting. Okay. That is very enticing. I probably would have done it anyway, but I will take the money. I assume this means that you won't be coming with us.
No, I need to attend to my own business in town, finding Arano and seeing if Gundren's brothers show back up in town.
Fair. One last question then, Sildar, before I leave you. You said Gundren and you were very close. How close were you with this Albric character?
Well, as close as one is with members of their own alliance. It's not like we were brothers or we were good friends. We were more work acquaintances who saw each other at the official meetings and talked with each other. And then,
Do you ever talk about the other work you were doing, like the stuff you did with Gundren?
he knew I was working with him as a bodyguard, and he knew I was doing this as well as my work with the Lord's Alliance, but I did not share the information about Wave Echo Cave with him, if that is what you are asking.
Right. I didn't suspect that you would. I mean, that would work against your best interests. But if he knew...
Mainly as well because the discovery of the cave is more recent than his disappearance.
Right. Yes. Well, I'll run this by you because you know Albric better than I do. Is there any chance that this wizard went missing in order to pursue a different life? I start winking very aggressively, like, you know, dress up in dark clothes and walk around with a skeleton staff and yell at goblins and tell them what to do. Is there any chance that Albric is involved in this?
I mean,
Was he that kind of guy? Did he look for power?
as a member of the Lord's Alliance, I would hope he didn't infiltrate our group dedicated to protecting the innocent just to seize an opportunity to go against it. But with how things are in Faerun and how magic can always enchant one and seek you away from what one
Yes.
can never be too sure.
Okay, I will leave it at that. I do not want to push you any further, my friend. Get some rest. Make sure you're completely healed up from everything the goblins did to you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you once again for helping free me and making sure that Gundren will hopefully be safe, but at least Wave Echo Cave stays out of the hands of these Kragmar and their spider.
Yes. And this is the most important thing for me right now. I do not want a bunch of goblins to be running around with magical weapons from the fucking Forge of Spells, so let's stop them at all costs. I think there's a dog in the street outside. I'll go look.
I can hear it as well. And with that, you leave Sildar's room, close the door, go back out into the main area. Do you spend some time there looking at booking rooms or doing anything of the sort, or what do you look to do now that you're done with Sildar?
I'm going to... What race is the person who's the barkeep?
You see sitting at the bar, is a young human, male.
Okay.
What you can see.
That's disgusting. I'm gonna walk out the door.
Roll perception for me as you leave. There are quite a few people in the tavern, talking.
Is the sun coming in through the windows? Because if the sun's on me, I have disadvantage.
Coming out of the back rooms right now, you are still in the shadows.
Okay, perfect. That will be a 23.
That is pretty good. So pretty much right now, you're just going to hear you just hear coming from the crowd. You're just listening as you walk. You're an adventurer, a treasure hunter. You've learned to especially because people don't really like you because of where you come from and who you are. You've learned to listen to the room as you walk, especially in inns, just to hear any flashy news, interesting rumors, stuff that might be going around town is out of the ordinary to the citizens, because those are always great leads for you. Or most of the time they are. Sometimes they just lead you into a wedding that you were not invited to.
And sometimes it's just racism.
Exactly. But the interesting part you pick up, you hear from another one of the bartenders, who appears to be a dwarf. Darren Earldamath, the orchard keeper, is a former adventurer.
The what keeper?
Orchard keeper, like apple trees, stuff.
Keeper. Hell yeah.
You also hear her say, "My sister, Gwen, is this big scholar in Neverwinter, and she's coming to visit me soon." You see a gnome in a conversation somewhere say, "The Red Brands hassle every business in town except for the Phandelver Miners Exchange. They don't want trouble with Hilla Thornton, who runs it." You see some humans talking about what's been going on in town, and hear snippets such as, "Marauders have been attacking trade caravans on the east end of the Tribor Trail. The town master is looking for someone to run them off. I think goblins are working with the Marauders too." And this is a group of people talking to each other. Another one of them says, after some time, "Sister Gariel, who oversees the Shrine of Luck, recently left town for a few days and then returned wounded." You hear a young kid talking with some of his friends in the corner. "Carp said he found a secret tunnel in the woods. The Red Brands almost caught him. He also saw weird goblins hanging around."
You said tunnel in the woods?
Yes. And then the final thing is you see the first innkeep you saw, the human one, talking to the dwarven one as well. And you overhear, "Thel Dindrar, a local woodcarver, stood up to the Red Brands a 10 day ago when they came by his shop and bullied his wife. The ruffians provoked a fight and murdered Thel. Several townsfolk saw it happen. The Red Brands grabbed his body, and now his wife, daughter, and son have gone missing." So from what you've been hearing as you walk out of this place, something is afoot in this town.
Yeah, and the Red Brands are fucking cunts.
Yes, that as well. Now where are you headed after this?
I'm gonna walk back down the road towards the provisions place.
Right, you start heading back towards the provisions. Takes you like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Once again, not a very big place. You see Gerald standing by the front door, still guarding.
I nod to him and walk inside.
I assume Gerald nods back as well. You walk inside, hear the ring of the... Doesn't sound like that, but you hear the ringing of the bell.
I smile at that sound.
And you see your friends browsing the provisions.
Ah! Good. You're still here. I know it was only like 10 minutes, but... How's everything going? I say to my two best buds.
It's going good. The sale has been completed.
Excellent.
Our friend Robert here got to meet the owner.
I pull out the sack of coins that Sildar gave me. I jingle it a little bit, and we got our other pay. Sildar did what he said he was gonna do, I guess.
Very jingly.
Yes.
Indeed.
I'm just gonna throw the pouch to Robert. Not saying he gets all the money, but he's been the money person so far, and we'll figure it out later. So,
40 gold, I guess, to your inventory, Andrew.
Let's keep track of that. So, there's a few things I want to get here. I don't know if you have them available. I'm gonna talk to the store person now. Yes.
We
Probably don't get many drow here, eh?
No, we get the one who lives in town, but besides that,
Excellent.
no, not many.
I've got plenty of surface coin. Don't worry.
I wasn't, but thank you.
And stop worrying.
Okay. We're just so used to immediate racism. That
Yeah.
it's like
I'm so on edge.
This like genuine not concerned about you being a drow at all.
I'm the one worrying.
Just throwing you for a loop.
Okay. Do you carry pickaxes of any sort? I heard that there was a mine thing in town. Maybe I could go there, but if you have one, that'd be excellent.
We do have some miner's picks, which I believe is what you are looking for. Pickaxes.
Yes, miner's pickaxe. Perfect.
There
I'll take
are,
one of those.
Right, that would be 2 gold pieces for the pickaxe.
A shovel.
Yeah. Yes, another 2 gold for the shovel.
5 days worth of rations.
All right, 5 days of rations. She pulls out like an abacus, starts doing a little bit of math. That will be 25 silver pieces.
Excellent. Some soap. I
Yes.
smell my armpit.
We have several scents. Do you have a preference? You
Yes.
look at these scents. One's like oak wood. One's meadow grass. It's just like a bunch of good smelling plants that you find in nature that they would use like 300 years ago to make soap.
Fern scented soap is the.
That one hasn't really changed all that much.
Can I roll anything?
Roll a perception, Robert.
He's addicted to these ferns, man.
I hate him.
He can't quit them.
I got a 4.
You start looking at the wall. You just see all like the good quality ones, all in shelf, and you see one that appears empty that has cobwebs and dust on it, labeled fern underneath. Looks like they ran out a long time ago.
Oh shit! The police are outside, guys.
So what you pick up some soap, smell any like basic flowery smell, you can just have it be that.
Can I roll anything to see if there's any like underdark smells?
Super soap.
You can roll just a straight D20.
Okay.
If you need to beat like you have to get a 19 or a 20 for there to be any chance of there being any underdark smells.
There's no underdark smells.
Yeah, no.
I scowl a little bit, but I just take the first thing I see.
You pick up some lavender.
Perfect. And
2 copper pieces for that.
last but not least,
Divine.
I need a net of the fishing or hunting variety.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure they have it. I just need
There's a lot of
They
really
do have a
cool
net.
stuff in this store.
They
I was trying to get a net
do
too.
not have a net.
Gonna be baller.
Don't have a net?
Nope. They have silk rope and hemp rope. I'm gonna say
It was in one of the other sections of the.
It was?
Yeah, it was in one of the ones at the top.
I think it's because it's technically a weapon, and
Yeah, I think so.
it's technically a weapon, and this store does not carry weapons.
But do they carry nets?
Yeah, I'm gonna make that exception. They have nets. I don't.
Hey!
But they got the net.
I won't
don't
be using
carry
this to
weapons.
kill anybody, I promise.
This
Not you.
Looking around the store as you guys were looking,
Lord.
the store doesn't carry armor and weapons, but they will
Yeah.
have net because why wouldn't they?
I'm
So
using
that's
it to
cool.
kill fish.
Yes.
That's 1 gold piece for the net.
So what is that? Like 8 gold or something?
What did you get? You got.
I have
Pickaxe,
2, 2, and
shovel.
1 unless I missed something. Oh, shovel. You put in.
So how much was it, Andrew?
I have 5 plus whatever shovel is.
Shovel's
2 gold.
2 gold.
Alright,
So
7.
7.
All right, I have 9 gold. I will pass over 7 gold.
She takes it, puts it in the cash register. Thank you for your business.
All right, now I have to remember all the shit I bought. No, I'm just kidding. I have it written down.
I want to buy some shit too, milady.
All right.
As he steps up, I just say, "See, not all drows are so bad."
Yes.
I agree. Goodbye, sir.
Darren is an exemplar member of the community. I don't get what you're getting at here.
You know Darren.
Yes, he grows most of the fruit and that we have for sale here.
Ah, you wouldn't happen to know where exactly his orchard is?
Yes. If you head up the road out of town towards the Tribord Trail, the first path that branches off to the left. If you just follow that to the end, you'll get to his orchard.
Excellent. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. What did you want to buy, Nick?
Alright, your boy is gonna need a net
Yep.
for 1 gold,
One.
3 healers kits for 15 gold,
All right.
a grappling hook for 2 gold,
Mm-hmm.
a miner's pick for 2 gold,
Yep.
a shover for 2 gold, a crowbar for 2 gold, 4 tinder boxes for 2 gold,
Motherfucker rich as hell.
and 10 days of rations.
Showing me
Hey.
up.
As long as it's less than the 25 gold pieces for one item, they have it, and you're able to purchase that.
Bet. So then, in total, that's gonna be
I think it's like 20,
31 gold.
31 gold. All right. You
Yeah.
see her pull out.
I'm
the
gonna buy
start doing some math.
2 tinder boxes to spend 1 gold instead.
So 30 gold.
Yep, 30 gold.
Does the abacus, adds the 4, takes away the 2. That'll be 30 gold. We got a big spend.
All right,
We got
well.
big purchases here today. You guys will make.
Blew
Make my
his
profit
entire
for a month.
salary.
You'll make our monthly profit triple for the month.
By the way,
Yes.
Robert,
You
I'm gonna hand you the pickaxe.
That stuff.
Put
Do
that
you
in
have
your
anything
inventory.
you would like to purchase, Andrew?
Yes. Alright, so seeing that the other 2 have nets, Robert really wants a net now. So he's gonna get a net.
Perfect.
He's gonna grab 50 blowgun needles.
You're going to spend 1 gold for 50 needles.
Yeah.
I'm going to say all this ammo stuff is not available here as it is.
Fuck.
You mentioned you're like, I take 50 blowgun needles. I'm sorry, my good sir. We do not sell weapons and armor here. If you do need that, though, the Lion Shield Cloister on the town square, they sell weapons and armor in town.
Oh, very nice.
I might need to buy.
Do you
some.
purchase agates, perhaps? I have a couple of these.
You have stuff to sell as well.
Yes.
Do you pull out just the gems, or do you also pull out the frog statue?
Sure, I'll pull out both.
She starts evaluating it, being like, I can. You just see her like thinking in her head. I can offer you 15 gold for the 3 gems and 20 for the frog statue.
Alright, I'll give her the gems. I'm gonna keep the frog statue for now. It has a bit of sentimental value, you know.
Yes. So she takes the 3 gems. You get 15 gold.
Perfect. Good. I'm gonna buy some vials too. I'm gonna look at the signet ring. What is that? Look like.
So it's just a ring with the signet of the store on it. I don't know specifically. Actually, it's like the town emblem is on it. And the town emblem, because it's Phandelver and it's famous for Wave Echo Cave and all that stuff, is sort of like a cave with some water and then like an anvil.
Ah,
And it's one of those
Oh.
ones where you would melt wax and like press it into it for like the back of an
Yeah.
envelope.
Yeah, I'll buy the signet ring 3 vials.
Perfect.
And my net that I already bought.
You hand over the money. He hands over the materials.
Thank you for your business, milady.
Yes, of course. Is there anything else you would like to do in the Stonehill Inn? Not the Stonehill Inn.
We're in the inn?
Provisions.
Oh my god.
Ogden's provisions. Sorry.
No, I'm good, so I'm gonna head out.
You guys gather your newly found materials, walk back out. Gerald moves away from the door and meets with you guys, and I assume you guys sort of gather around the wagon where you still have the stuff for the Lion Shield Cloister inside.
Well,
Alright.
That sale went well.
Indeed.
Does
And
Gerald want anything?
I'll be fine.
Yes,
We're-
we've already got the most OP armor in the land, so you should be alright.